All right, how we doing today? It is day 60 of the Animal Crossing series. Pretty cool, pretty cool. What do we got here? HRA and Tom Nook. 12,200 points. For filthiness? What? What do I have lying around? I'll have to double check on that. A rock guitar? Ooh, I might have to get that, actually. Yeah, it's day 60. I've done this for 60 days. Isn't that crazy? Oh, you know what? I see what it is. It's that. I don't care. I don't care. Yeah. I guess next, I mean, I'm probably going to keep considering the multiples of 10, I guess, is a way I could say it. I'll probably keep considering the multiples of 10 milestones until we reach 100. I don't know. We'll see. But at the very least, since day 50, 100 was definitely like the next big milestone. That is a nice looking guitar. I will take that. That's a rock guitar. Yep. I will be taking that. Perfect. Okay. Yep. Thank you. All right. So today I got a lot more work done on the non-combat version for the Gorecore track I'm currently working on. And by a lot more work done, I mean I pretty much threw out everything I'd already done and started from scratch, and I like the direction it's going in now a lot more. Specifically for the non-combat version of the track. I didn't throw out the entire track, I just threw out what I had for the non-combat version. And I really like it. Oh, it plays the town tune. Oh, that's wonderful. Okay. Yeah, I like it a lot. The like lead synth sound I've made for it might be one of the most processed lead synth sounds I've ever made for a song, because where's my shovel? The song is for a level that's I guess it's like a maintenance tunnel. I've seen a few screenshots of it, but I haven't thus far been able to actually like play the game, get my hands on it, you know? So I've just been going off of screenshots so far. And the level that this track is for is like a maintenance tunnel and stuff, and there are a lot of kind of pipes sort of running through it everywhere. And so I thought it'd be cool if for the I didn't really make any you know, like kind of resonant sounds for the regular combat version of the track, but for that reason, I decided for the non-combat version of the track, it would be cool if oh, you're a penguin. Hello. Rolled. Good evening. Not to be blunt, but do I even know you? I don't, do I? Then let me tell you about me. I'm Rolled. I'm quite a character. Why are you laughing? I enjoy weightlifting and long walks by the dump. I also say buddy all the time, buddy. I'm trying to break the habit, but it just comes out. Try not to hold it against me, buddy. Darn. I love you. Oh my god, you're adorable. I'm keeping you around, that's for sure. Yeah, so for the non-combat version, I decided it'd be cool if I could have some sounds in it that sound a little bit more resonant. Because I don't think I explained this. I want resonant sounds in it because specifically of the fact that there are so many pipes running through the level, because pipes make very kind of like resonant sounds especially if you play a sound through a pipe, and if the sound is loud enough, it'll resonate in the pipe quite a bit. And I think resonant sounds are really, really cool, partly because I really enjoy color bass, which is a genre of bass music, basically EDM, that uses a lot of really resonant sounds and like resonant sound design methods to sort of add tonality to sounds that would normally be entirely atonal, which is a very cool, like, part of the reason I like color bass so much is because that's just a really cool concept for a genre, but also I think the music just fucking slaps. So it's a lot of color bass. I like a lot of color bass so much because it strikes the exact balance that I really enjoy in a lot of EDM, of being like really busy but not overwhelming, and instead just using that busyness to make it hit harder. Some color bass is a lot more minimal though. I do still dig that stuff, but I like the busier stuff the most. And that's actually, I don't know if I mentioned this before. I think I've mentioned that I'm taking private lessons for music production, but I don't know if I've mentioned by like from who. I'm taking private lessons from an artist who goes by the name Skybreak, and he makes color bass, and I am specifically like consistently very impressed with his production quality, and so that was part of the reason why I decided to go with him for private lessons, because I really enjoy his music and he very clearly knows what he's doing, so might as well, you know. What was I talking about? Pipes make really resonant sounds, and so I wanted to make sounds in the non-combat version of the track that sounded really resonant, to make it kind of sound like those sounds were resonating through the pipes in the level and kind of add to the overall atmosphere. I really liked that idea, but I couldn't really figure out a way to do that in the combat version, because I really wanted it to sound very tight and controlled in a lot of ways, and resonant sounds don't really have that sort of tight, controlled feeling, in my opinion, at least. Or maybe I'm just shit at sound design, but you know. So when I went to do the non-combat version, I was like, oh, this is like a perfect opportunity to include some resonant sounds, especially because the non-combat version is meant to be more in the background and atmospheric and sort of washed out in a way. So the first thing I tried to do was basically take the basses and add a sort of resonator plugin to it called Chroma. It's not just a resonator, it also like sort of semi-auto tunes as well, but you can also basically use it as a resonator. And that sounded like shit. And so I messed around with that for a couple days and just had no luck. And so eventually that was what I ended up completely throwing out, and started over, and instead I decided to make a lead synth sound, like I was talking about before, that I would try to make sound really like it's resonating, you know. And so I say it's probably the most processed sound, like lead synth sound I've ever made, because the sound itself is really simple. It's just a saw wave and a triangle wave, I think an octave below the saw wave. And to be fair, I am doing a little bit of weird stuff to to add to the resonant qualities of the sound. I'm kind of... It's more complicated than this, but to put it simply, I am basically... I basically have the volume on the triangle wave automating randomly up and down so that it kind of sounds like a resonant tone that is like coming in and out of resonance, you know. And then after that, I put Chroma on it, like the plugin I mentioned earlier, for more actual like resonation. I guess, is resonation a word? I don't know. It probably is. But before Chroma on the like effects chain, I put a frequency shifter, and I kind of do some weird automation with that, but I have to be careful with it because it does completely like wash out the melody that I'm playing with the lead synth, because it's shifting the frequencies of the sound, and that'll obviously shift the pitch and the tonality to it. But putting a frequency shifter before Chroma will have interesting effects on how Chroma interacts with the sound, because basically with Chroma you input a key into Chroma, and then it kind of, like I said, auto-tunes to that key. And so if you have a frequency shifter before Chroma that's messing with the frequencies of the sound, then Chroma is going to do different things over time to try and correct the sound to get it back in key. And that's it's not something I came up with. That's something I've seen a lot of other producers do. Like Chime specifically loves to do that with their sounds. But I thought it'd be fun for this, and it could create some, like, also create some interesting resonant sounds on its own, and it kind of did, so I included that minimally to not completely destroy the melody the synth is playing. But then after that, I go even further into the like resonating sound type of thing, and I use convolution reverb with a very like kind of tonal impulse sound to even bring out more like tonal resonation. I still don't think resonation is a word, but you know, to bring out more tonal like resonating stuff. And then I just wash it all out with delay and reverb after that. And scattered throughout are a few different EQs to make sure things don't get too out of hand. But after making that sound, like most of my lead sounds are like, you can tell, even with the processing I do, you can tell it's basically just a saw wave at the end of the day. But after all that processing on this one sound I made, it almost sounds organic in a way, which is good, because that was exactly kind of what I was going for, with like wanting it to sound like some sound that's resonating through the pipes in the level. That's a very organic, you know, concept for a sound. So I'm really glad I was able to achieve something like that by just kind of throwing shit at the wall just to make it sound as resonant as possible. So that was cool. I guess today was the Jay Rambles About Sound Design and Music Day. And I think that's it. So I will talk to you tomorrow.